name's Joella. Thanks for joining me for some yoga this morning. We're going to get started on our backs in just a moment. But just before we get started, I want to remind you to please make sure you're listening to your body, take any modifications that you may need, and of course, make sure that you've checked with your healthcare provider before starting a new exercise routine. So, we were going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, so recline down angle pose, and that's where the soles of your feet together and your knees are open out to the side. So if you have tight hips, it might be helpful for you to grab like a pillow or some blankets to have under your knees. So if you don't have anything like that handy, that's fine. You can totally skip it. Or if it feels fine to you to not use them as well, that's fine as well. But go ahead and come down onto your backs. And then put the soles of your feet together and just gently allow your knees to fall open to the side. So here is where you can put those, if you have yoga blocks, you can put them on an angle to support your knees here, or again, pillows, blankets, just so that there's just something supporting you. If you don't have anything like that, or this doesn't feel right to you, you can totally skip it and put your feet flat to the ground and have your knees slightly wider than hips distance, feet slightly wider than hips distance so that your knees can be into touch. So find what feels right for you. Hands just down by your side. Just begin to take a moment here to bring your awareness to your breath. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose and sigh it out your mouth. Two more like that. Inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. One more. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Beginning to breathe just in and out our nose now. Nice, deep, even inhales and exhales. Exhale out all the air that's in your lungs. And then inhale through your nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, out, 5, 4, 3, 2. In, 5, 4, 3, 2, out, 5, 4, 3, 2. In, 5, 4, 3, 2, out, 5, 4, 3, 2. Again, in, 4, 3, 2, out, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, in, 4, 3, 2, out, 5, 4, 3, 2. Allow your breath to be natural. Still breathing in and out your nose. Just notice how this feels. Does your body feel any different? You might notice a difference, you might not. Either one's okay, but just taking a moment to notice. One more breath here before we begin to move. Use your hands to gently bring your knees back up together. Plant your feet to the floor, hips distance apart, feet parallel to each other. And we're going to flow through a bridge pose here. So exhale here, inhale, pressing into your feet, hips lift, lengthen your tailbone, your buttocks flush towards the back of your knees, and then exhale, lowering back down to the floor. Moving with your breath. Nice deep inhale up, and exhale, lowering it back down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Let's do 3 more at your own pace, matching your movement to your breath. Lengthening your tailbone back, making space between your sacrum and your low ribs. Last one. Pausing in your bridge pose here. Or, I'm sorry, not in your bridge pose, with your hips down. Go ahead, bring your knees up to like a tabletop so that your knees are right over your hips and your heels are in line with your knees. And we're going to inhale here, arms out to a T or a cactus for whatever you have room for. Inhale here, exhale, knees fall over to the right, hovering about an inch or so off the floor. Inhale back up to center. Exhale to the left, keeping both shoulder blades down to the floor. Only going over as far as you can keep control. Inhale up to center, taking the whole breath to make these movements. So exhaling over to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Keep going. Let's do 2 more to each side. Just warming up our abs, our spine, nice and gentle. When you finish your last round, just pausing in the center. Hug your knees into your chest. You can gently rock from side to side, massaging your low back, your sacrum. Keeping your right knee hugged in, extend your left leg down your mat. So Ekapada Apanasana. Your right knee is hugged in. Your left leg is down on the ground, but as if you were standing on it. So your foot's flexed, and your thigh is pressing down towards the floor, inner thigh wrapping in, tailbone lengthening down. So your quad is engaged here. One more breath here. Inhale here, and exhale. Bring your right knee across the midline over to the left, taking a little twist to the left. Now, if this is too much to have one leg extended and one leg bent, you can bend your left leg and bring it under your right. But trying to keep your right shoulder blade on the floor. Inhaling your right knee back through center, back into Ekapada Apanasana. Exhale here. Inhale your left leg in Apanasana. Again, you can rock from side to side, massaging your low back. Inhale here, exhale, release your right leg down your mat. Left knee hugging in towards your chest. So toes and knees of that right leg pointing up towards the ceiling. So your leg is extended, but it's in a neutral rotation, so we're not letting it fall out to the side. So that inner right thigh is wrapping down towards the floor, and that quad is engaged. Again, like you were standing up and then somebody came and pushed you over and you fell down how you were standing. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your left leg across your midline over to the right. So taking a little twist, keeping your left shoulder blade down to the floor. And again, if this is too much of a twist for you, you can bring your bottom leg up to meet the top leg. Exhale here. Inhale back up to Ekapada Apanasana. One breath here. Inhale your right knee into your chest in Apanasana just for a moment. Begin to rock forward and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we'll meet on all fours. So you can come up and over or swing your legs around onto all fours. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees right underneath hips, feet behind your knees. We'll take a few cat-cow poses here. So pressing down into your hands. Inhale, belly button drops, collarbone broadens, tailbone lifts up towards the sky. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine, tailbone lengthens towards the backs of your knees. So inhale, making space through your spine. And exhale, rounding up into cat. Pressing down through your hands and through your knees and feet. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale to a neutral spine. And we're going to step one leg back at a time, so right and then left into plank pose. Always an option to have your knees down to the floor here. But wrists right underneath of our shoulders, feet about hips distance apart, pressing down into our hands, lifting up and away with our armpits. Collarbone broadening so our shoulder blades, the centers of our shoulder blades are coming together gently. Gaze is forward, so like a foot or so in front of your fingertips. Legs are nice and straight here. Your quads pressing up into your thigh bones as your tailbone lengthens down toward the back of your knees, so that your bum's not up here, but lengthening down. One more breath here. Hinge forward slightly, and exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. So hands are shoulder distance apart, wrists right underneath of your elbows. Uncurl your toes, coming down to the tops of your feet, pressing down towards the tops of your feet. Exhale here, inhale, baby cobra. Just chest and shoulders lift, low ribs stay on the floor, tailbone lengthening towards the backs of your knees. And exhale, lower down. You can stay right there. We're taking it up into our upward facing dog. One more breath here. Exhale here, inhale, press into your hands, broadening through your collarbone. Sternum comes forward between your hands, tailbone lengthening down towards the backs of your feet, pressing down to the tops of your feet. One more breath here. Lifting from your inner thighs, coming up and back, downward facing dog. So hands are shoulder distance apart, maybe slightly wider. Wrist creases parallel or slightly turned out to the front edge of your mat. Outer upper arms, your triceps wrapping in. Pressing down through your hands, lifting up and away through your forearms. Feet hips distance apart, heels right behind your second toe. Little bend in your knees so that you can reach back from your inner thighs and lengthen your tailbone up to where the wall and ceiling meet. One more breath here. On your next exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of your mat. Bending your knees as much as you need to here. You can clasp opposite elbows and gently sway from side to side for a moment. Releasing your hands. Let's put our hands to our hips, elbows pointing up towards the sky. Feel for your hip bones here. Exhale here and inhale with a nice long flat back. Lengthening the crown of your head forward and come up to stand. So that just makes we want the movement to come from our pelvis, not rounding up through our back. So staying at the back of your mat. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. So feet hips distance apart, pressing down through our feet evenly, lifting up on our inner and outer arches, lifting up on your quadriceps, kneecaps moving up, inner thighs wrapping back as your tailbone lengthens down. Outer upper arms wrapping in, arms are shoulder distance apart. One more breath here. Exhale, bending your knees as much as you need to, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthening the crown of your head forward, making space, broadening your collarbones. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. Again, inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. Really flowing with our breath. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. So we're going to take a standing figure 4 here, but first, feet hip distance apart, heels right behind our second toe so that our feet are parallel to each other. Lifting up on your quadriceps, inner thighs wrapping back, tailbone lengthening down, standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Lifting your front hip points up and away from your thigh bones. Tailbone lengthens down and back. Outer upper arms wrapping in. Press down through your left foot and lift your right foot about an inch off the floor. Lengthen through that left leg, standing up. Externally rotate your right leg, placing your ankle to your left knee, and sit back down for standing figure 4. Hands can be on your hips if you need a little more stability, but hugging that left hip in so you're not letting it fall out to the side. One more breath here. Pressing down through your right foot, or left foot, excuse me. Bringing your right leg back to neutral, sitting it down next to your left. Exhale, your hands down by your side. Other side. Let's take a moment here, Tadasana. Lifting our arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Lifting your front hip points up and away from your thigh bones. Breathing here. Pressing down through your right foot. Come up to stand, bringing your left knee up to hip height. Externally rotate that left leg, placing your left ankle to your right knee. And exhale, hips sink back, standing figure 4. Right hip hugging in. Hip point still lifting up and away from your thigh bones. One more breath here. Pressing down through that right foot, lengthening through that right leg, bringing your left leg back to neutral, sitting it down next to the right, releasing your hands by your side, Tadasana. Let's come up to the top of our mat, staying in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, feet stepping back to plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Set your left knee down to the floor. Step your right foot up to the inside of your right hand, uncurling your left toes. Inhale, taking a twist towards that right leg. So pressing down through your left hand, hugging your outer hips in. Exhale, hand comes down. Step it back, downward facing dog. Other side, right knee comes down, left foot steps forward, uncurl your right toes, press down through the right hand. Inhale, twisting to the left. Exhale, unwind. Step back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. The bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands. Walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, standing up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, right back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or maybe float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right away, left knee down, right foot steps forward. Exhale here, inhale, twist. Exhale, unwind, step it back, downward facing dog. Setting your right knee down, left foot steps up. Inhale, twist. Exhale, unwind, downward facing dog. Pause for 3 breaths. The bottom of your exhale, looking towards your hands, walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, right back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Let's see if we can make this next part all one breath. Inhale, right foot steps forward, twist. Exhale, step it back. Other side, inhale. Exhale, step it back. Pause, 3 breaths here. This can always be child's pose. Pressing into your hands, looking up through your forearms, outer upper arms wrapping in. The bottom of your exhale, looking towards your hands. Walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana Mountain Pose. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana Chair Pose. So feet hips distance apart, pressing down to our feet, lifting up our hip points away from our thigh bones. Outer upper arms wrapping in, so that external rotation of our arms. Hips sink back a little further. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, step it back, Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog, toes and knees pointing down towards the floor. But make sure you're maintaining life through both sides of your torso evenly. Exhale, step your right foot to the inside of your right thumb. Spin your back heel down so you're lined up, hips distance apart here, but your back foot heel is down. So the outer edge of your left foot is pressing into the floor and that inner left thigh is wrapping up. Hugging your outer hips in, inhale, arms forward and up, Virabhadrasana 1. Lengthening your tailbone down, lifting your front hip points up towards your low ribs, but keeping that back leg engaged. Front knee comes right over top of our front ankle. Outer upper arms wrapping in, so our triceps moving in towards our face. Inhale here. Exhale, you're going to heel toe your right foot over to the left. Widen your stance a little bit, so maybe a little forward. Coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Tailbone lengthens down towards the floor. That back leg is still engaged, so still pressing down through the outer edge of that left foot as that inner thigh wraps in. Arms out to a T, shoulders squaring to the side of your mat. You can look out over your right fingertips. 2 breaths here. Inner right thigh lifting up as you press down to the ball mound of that right big toe. Exhale here, inhale, left hand to left leg, reverse warrior. But keeping that right knee right over top of our right ankle. 1 more breath. Inhale, arms back up to a T. Press down through your right foot to lengthen that right leg. And exhale, reaching your fingertips towards the right. Pelvis tilts to the right, coming into Trikonasana. This might be a little wide, so if this feels too wide for you, you can heel toe that back foot in, but it's still turning in, so the toe and knee are pointing out to the side. That inner thigh is still wrapping down and under. Lengthening your rib cage forward evenly. Pressing down through the ball mound of this right foot. 1 more breath here. Exhale, look down at your bottom hand. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, hands come down to frame your right foot. Step it back. You can skip this and go right into downward facing dog or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. And pause. Pressing down through your hands. Let's inhale your left leg up and back, right to hip height, toes and knees point down so your outer hips are still hugging in. Making space through both sides of your torso so you didn't collapse on the right side when you lifted your left leg up. Exhale, left leg to the inside of your left thumb, spinning your right heel down. Again, so you're on railroad tracks here, feet are hips distance apart, pressing down through the outer edge of that right foot, inner right thigh, lifting up. Inhale, arms forward and up, warrior one. Really lengthening your tailbone down, lifting your front hip points up so that we're making space in our low back. That front knee bent right over top of your front ankle as you press down through the big toe mound of your left foot. One more breath here. You're going to heel toe your left foot over to the midline, widen your stance, so maybe heel toe your back foot out, coming into warrior two, squaring your shoulders to the side. So still pressing down to the outer edge of that right foot, inner thigh wrapping in, tailbone lengthening down, inner left thigh lifting up. One more breath here. Inhale, reverse warrior, right hand to right leg, reaching back with your left hand, but keeping that front knee over top of your front ankle. One more breath. Inhale, arms come back out to a T, lengthening through that front leg. Exhale, reaching left hand towards the left, pelvis tilts to the left. Left hand to the inside of the left leg. Pressing down through the big toe mound, that left foot lifting up on the left quad. Breathing here, making space through both sides of your torso. Exhale, looking down towards your left hand. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale, hands come down to frame your left foot. You can flow through your vinyasa, so chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pausing here. The bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands, walk, step or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthening all four sides of your rib cage forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Turn and face the long edge of your mat. Step your feet wide so that there is about one leg length between your feet, or you can imagine your ankles right below your wrists. If that feels too wide, if it causes any pressure on your knees, you can come a little narrower. So staying up nice and tall here, pressing down through all four corners of your feet, lifting up on your quads, hands to your hips. Feel for your front hip points. Inhale here and exhale, tilt your pelvis forward, reaching the crown of your head forward, all four sides of your torso come forward. And then exhale, hands can release down to the floor or to your thighs, knees, wherever they reach. But pressing down through your feet, lifting up through your quads. Finding length in your spine, so not just rounding over. One more breath here. And exhale. You can round through your spine. Maybe walking your hands back so that your fingers are in line with your toes. And find almost like chaturanga arms. So pressing down through your hands, triceps wrapping in. Still finding that length through your spine. Still lifting up on your quadriceps. So you're containing the stretch here. One more breath. Walking your hands out. Bringing your hands back up to your hips. Exhale here. Inhale all the way up to stand. Go ahead and walk your heels in so that your legs are now turned out to the side. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hips sink down, goddess pose. Maybe rocking from side to side here a little. And pausing in the center, finding evenness in your feet. So you're pressing down through both feet evenly. You're not more in one than the other. Inhale, straighten out through your arms and your legs, making like a star shape. And exhale, goddess. Again, inhale, stretch. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, goddess. Bring your hands down to your knees. Inhale here. And exhale, gently bring your left shoulder to the midline. Maybe looking out over that right shoulder a little bit. One more breath. Inhale, unwind. Other side, bringing your right shoulder to the midline, finding a little twist to the left, looking out over your left shoulder. One more breath. Inhale, back up to goddess, arms up. Inhale, stretch it all out, hands to your hips, and heel toe your feet together. Bringing your feet hips distance apart. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Lifting your front hip points away from your thighs. Hands come to heart center. Inhale here, and exhale, twist to the left. Keeping your outer hips hugged in, so when you twisted, you didn't pop your knee out. And see if you can feel in your twist, if your left knee and left hip came really far in front of your right. Hinge forward, sending your hips back, and bring your elbow down just wherever it lands. Breathing here. Thinking of lengthening the crown of your head forward and not just cranking it into that twist. Pressing down through your feet. Exhale here. Inhale, unwind. Inhale here. And exhale, forward fold. Hold here for our breath. Inhale, arms out and up, standing up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale here, exhale, hands to heart center. One more breath like this. Inhale. And exhale, twisting to your left. Again, trying to keep your right knee and hip in line with your left. Hinging forward, outer hips hugging in. Placing your elbow wherever it lands. Lengthening the crown of your head forward, away from your tailbone. One more breath. Inhale, unwind, and exhale, forward fold. Go ahead, press down through your feet and inhale, roll up to a standing position. Bring your shoulders up and back, and then your head. Let's come back up to the top of our mat. Feet hips distance apart. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, skip it or Flow through your Vinyasa. Pausing in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back, hugging your outer hips in. Exhale, stepping your right foot forward to the inside of your right hand. Outer hips really hugging in here so that you're staying right up over the midline. Pressing down through that right foot, right knee right over top of that right ankle. Inhale, arms out and up. High lunge, Vinyasa. Lengthening your tailbone down, finding a little bend in that back knee. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, bend 2 more times. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. This time, hands coming to your hips. And exhale, hinge forward. So pressing down through the ball, big toe, ball mound of that right foot, lifting up on your right quad as you tilt forward from your pelvis. Gently pulling your right hip crease back as you press down through the ball of that right foot. Lengthening the crown of your head forward, both sides of your rib cage forward. Inhale, right back into your high lunge. Exhale, hands down to frame your right foot. Step it back. Option, Chaturanga, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. And exhale, step it through to the inside of your left thumb. Inhale, high lunge. So pressing down through that left foot, left knee right over top of your ankle, little bend in that back knee. Feet are hip distance apart, your back heel is lifted. Inhale, straighten through both legs. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Hands come down to your hips, lift up on that left quad, press down through the big toe, that left foot, and exhale, hinge forward from your pelvis. You have a little bend in that left leg, reaching the crown of your head forward, both sides of your rib cage come forward, making space through your spine. Outer hips still hugging in. Exhale here. Inhale, Vinyasa. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Do Chaturanga, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And pause. Inhale, your right leg up and back. Exhale, step it to the inside of your right thumb. From here, come up onto your fingertips, make space across your collarbone. Really press down into this right foot. You want it parallel to the long edge of your mat, so your heel is right behind your second toe. Press down through this foot and lift up through that right quad. Lift your back leg up to hip height, finding Virabhadrasana 3 on the right side. So pressing down through that foot, lifting up through your thighs. Hips are neutral, so your left hip is right in line with your right. Back leg is strong, pressing that thigh up, right in line with your hip. So you're reaching from the crown of your head forward and your heel back. slowly begin to bend through that right leg. Hands come back down to the floor to your low lunge. And step it back, downward facing dog. Other side. Left foot lifts up to hip height. Exhale, knee to nose, sit it down to the inside of your left thumb. So set up here, legs nice and strong. Pressing that back right quad up into that thigh bone. Pressing down through your left foot. Heel right behind your second toe. Knee over top of your ankle. And really engage this quad, so lifting up. Press down with this foot, hand on your hips. Press down through the right or left foot, right hip. Foot lifts up to hip height. Right hip in line with the left. Outer hips hugging in. Broadening through your collarbone, lengthening all four sides of your rib cage forward. One more breath. Exhale, bending through that left leg, reaching your right foot back to low lunge. Step it into downward facing dog. Breathing here. Inhale your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, stepping it through to the inside of your right thumb. Go ahead, place your left knee down to the floor. You can roll up your mat or maybe put a pillow or something underneath the knee if you have any discomfort there. Uncurl your left toes and broaden through your collarbone here. So gently allow your hips to fall forward, so you're stretching through these hip flexors, outer hips hugging in. One more breath here. And then gently begin to walk your hands back as you straighten through that right leg and flex your right toes. So outer hips still hugging in, your glute medius hugging to the midline. Reaching your torso forward, broadening through your collarbone. Breathing here. Walking your hands forward to frame your right foot again and step it back to downward facing dog. 2 more breaths here. Inhale your left leg up and back, three-legged dog, toes and knees pointed down towards the floor. Exhale, step it through. Set your right knee down and curl your right toes. And gently, as you broaden through your collarbone, allow your hips to move forward. So lifting up on this right quad, but finding a stretch through your right hip flexor. Coming up onto your fingertips, so you can broaden across your collarbone, gently pulling the insides of your shoulder blades together. That outer left glute medius still hugging in. Exhale, begin to walk your hands back, picking up on your left toes, reaching your rib cage forward, so your spine's long, crown of your head's reaching forward. Probably feeling a bit of a stretch through your hamstrings on your left leg. Exhale, walking your hands forward to frame your left foot, tucking your right toes under, step it back, downward facing dog. One more breath here. exhale, bring your knees down to the floor. Have them about mat's width. And then sink your hips back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Inhale, walk your hands in, and then swinging your legs out to the side and around. Let's bend your right foot in, so it's at the inside of your left knee, and then gently using your hands to open your right knee out to the side so that the bottom of your right foot comes to the inside of your left thigh. So sit up nice and tall here. If you're finding that your low back is rounding, it might be helpful to like roll up your mat and sit on that a little bit, or if you have a block or blanket, something handy to elevate your hips a little bit so you can find length in your side. But sit up nice and tall here, and then exhale, reaching up and away from your sacrum, tilting forward from your pelvis. Begin to find a forward fold over that left leg. Just letting your hands rest wherever they reach. Finding length in your inhale and then softening a little on your exhale. Inhale, walking your hands back, coming back up to a seated position. Use your right hand to bring your right knee to the center, extend your right leg, opposite side. So left foot bends, using your hand to gently open that leg out to the side, bringing the bottom of your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Sitting up nice and tall here, and exhale, beginning to walking your hands forward, making space, so lifting up and away from your sacrum, tilting from your pelvis, not just rounding through your spine. Inhaling, making space on your inhales, and then softening over a little more on your exhales. Inhale, coming back up to a seated position. Use your left hand to bring your left knee back to the center. Extend your left leg. Make sure there's room behind you on your mat, and just come down to your back. Plant your feet flat to the floor. Feet hip distance apart and parallel to each other. Heels right underneath of your knees. Think when you're here of gently making space across your collarbone, bringing your shoulder blades together, and putting your hands down by your sides. Go ahead and grab the outer edges of your mat and think of wrapping your triceps under. Exhale here. Inhale, press down through your feet, lifting your hips up towards the sky, pressing down through the backs of your arms, lengthening your tailbone towards the backs of your knees, inner thighs wrapping down towards the floor. Making space, lifting up and away from your sacrum, like up and away from your low ribs. Making space across your collarbone. One more breath here. And exhale, gently lower your knees back down to the floor. Go ahead and gently allow your knees to fall over to the left. Finding a little twist here. Arms can come out to a T or to cactus. But feet hip distance apart here, and then allow your knees to fall over so that your legs aren't stacked on top of each other, but instead you might be feeling a nice stretch across the front of your right hip. Inhale, bringing your knees back up through center. And exhale, allow your knees to fall over to the right. So keeping your shoulder blades down to the floor, keeping your feet hips distance apart. Bringing your knees back up through center. And hug your knees into your chest for Asana. Gently rock from side to side. You can stay right here if this feels comfortable for you, or you can come into happy baby. So reaching up and grabbing for the outer edges of your feet. Keeping your sacrum, your low back, kind of like the top of your bum, down on the floor. And you can rock from side to side here in your happy baby. And if you can't reach for your feet, you can always have your hands on the backs of your hamstrings, bringing your knees out towards your shoulders. But again, keeping your sacrum down to the floor. See if you can get your heels over your knees. Releasing your feet. And this time, let's lengthen our legs, bringing your feet up towards the ceiling so that your heels are over top of your hips, like you were going to stand on the floor or on the ceiling. Just a little gentle inversion here. Now making our way into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. You can have your feet flat to the floor if that feels comfortable for you, or you can extend your legs down your mat if that doesn't cause any discomfort in your low back. Just find a place where you can get out all the fidgets. Your arms can just relax wherever's comfortable. Take a moment to get comfortable, and then allow your body to feel heavy and your breathing to be natural. Spend a few moments here just intentionally clearing our minds. You can stay here as long as you want. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, deepening your breathing. And then taking your time, rolling over to one side. Making your way up to a seated position, however's comfortable for you. We'll take a breath together here before we complete our practice. So nice deep inhale, arms sweep out and up to the side. Exhale, hands through heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Joella. I hope you can catch another class soon.